Alright, this video I'll try to touch on a couple things. You might recap the double bottoms, double tops real quick, and then move into the head and shoulders, and then maybe draw some support and resistance lines. So just to recap, double bottoms, double tops. I'm just gonna scroll through some of these and find them for you, just so you can get an idea of what to look for. So let's see, on this time frame, don't see too much. So let's see, I would still consider this a double top. This a double bottom. Let's see, what else can we find? This I'd still consider a double bottom as well. So you can see their shapes are never, consistently the same. So you gotta keep an eye out for them. So I'll just scroll through a few more different ones just to show you that they're all over the place. So you can find them almost all the time. Yeah, so like this right here, this into the double top. Let's see, this right here is a double bottom. And so that was just to recap on the last video. But getting into head and shoulders, it's a little bit more difficult to detect because it doesn't. Sometimes they sit inside of other structures. So to give you an example, let's see if I can. That's fine. But essentially what you're looking for is literally, it should look something like a head and shoulders. And what that means is, okay, so a pretty good example of head and shoulders would be this right here. So what we're looking for is some long kind of arm-like things, and then you go over a little bit for the shoulder, go up for the head, as it comes back down, another shoulder, and then the arm sort of things. Again, this is just a common structure that you'll see sometimes to identify where the market's potentially going to go. So once I saw this forming right here, you can't really tell on the left side, like you couldn't really tell it was going to form it from this side, but when you saw it come down and go up a little bit, kind of be stagnant, you could have made a fairly good assumption that it might go down and finish that head and shoulders pattern. And so actually in this case, it's actually, that pattern is actually inside of that double top we were looking at earlier. So again, that's why they can be hard to spot, but if you can spot them, you can definitely try to take advantage. Let's see, and so you can also have the inverse of this, and what that means is just this flipped upside down. So let's see if we can find one. So usually you'll see them something like this. I mean, this isn't the best example, but you'll see them usually when you're forming a double bottom. They'll usually tend to form there. Again, just another indicator that kind of give you an idea of where price is going to go. So you saw it come down here, you might have tried to buy, didn't necessarily complete it, but you could have made a little bit of profit right there. But the idea is just to kind of see the bigger picture sometimes. So looking at this as a whole, looking at this whole thing, I would call this the head and shoulders. And so I would call this whole thing, this right here, this is the left shoulder, this would be the head, and this would be the right shoulder. So again, it's kind of not necessarily straight or perfect all the time, but When you saw something like this, you start to go up, but then slowly start to creep back down. You might have made the assumption it's going to complete the other side of this head and shoulders, so you might have made the decision to sell, and that would have been a fairly good decision as a result in let's see, quite a few pips, so 130 or so. But yeah, so now to get into a little bit about the market structure, I might make another video for this, but you'll see what you want to pay attention to is where the price changes direction. So these are very, 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 very important points. So just to start off, going from left to right, I see it changes direction here, bounces off it, this point, this point, this point, this point, and these are relatively in the same vicinity, and so you want to make note of that as you're trading, because that's a potential opportunity for you, in the sense that, kind of like what we talked about earlier, when do I leave the buy? So let's say, for myself personally, I still don't know necessarily when is the best time to leave a position. So let's say you see the double top form or double bottom form, you see it go down, hit 1, come up again, hit 2. Okay, so then I see an engulfing candlestick. Okay, I'm gonna buy. Now where exactly do I leave? I'm gonna draw this because it's for sake. So again, you want to draw where it bounces off. Yeah, so you enter the buy after you saw that engulfing candlestick, just meaning it was bigger than the previous one and in the opposite direction. So this was a small red one, it's a big blue one. So, and that indicates it's probably going to move upwards, and it did. So you buy right here, and you're not really sure when to get out of it. Maybe you see this, you wait, and then it comes back down, and then you pretty much lose all your money right here. So, and that's happened to me, to where I didn't know when I made some money. And then I stayed in thinking it's going to go higher, and then it comes back down and goes negative, and I end up losing money. So that's why it's very important to draw these, or at least have an idea of them in your head, because these are where you want to take profit. So let's keep that in mind. TP stands for take profit, if you see that anywhere. Oh, sorry. But I'm trying to do here is this is what I do for myself too, is when I see another resistance level, that's where I'm going to want to take my profit. And the reason is, again, you don't know if it's going to bounce off this like I did previously, or if it's going to keep going. It could keep going, in which case you might be missing out on some money. But to have proper risk management, you definitely want to try to take profit here. Again, because look at it, didn't necessarily. It might have went higher. You might have waited, thinking, "Oh yeah, this is great. You're making money," and then it comes back down, and it never gets that high again, and you can't make that money back. So that's probably one of the most important things that I've learned about drawing the trend lines in the market structure, or the support and resistance. For clarity's sake, when it's on the bottom like this is support. When it bounces and goes up, and when it bounces and goes down, this is resistance. So you hear me use them interchangeably, that it doesn't really make a difference. Just know they're important price changing points. And so again, I entered the trade when I saw the engulfing candlestick. I'm going to look to take profit at the next resistance line, which is the next wherever it bounced off previously. And yeah, that's all for this video.